Man, we're going live. Dude, we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the four-letter nerd. It's your boy Mayhem Mike. Strap it. Did a whole dance sequence. You didn't even bother seeing it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the four-letter nerd. It's your host, Mayhem Mike. As I come to my tenure and end of my hosting, I would like to look back on the good times I've had. The horrible ratings my co-host gave me. The horrible ratings I gave them because they had trash selections. Reggie, hater. Boy, just the random intro and outro buttons. Bergie back. You're not getting unemployment, fam. Stop it, 5. That's not you. Cat, we still cool. Whatever. Anyway, today we have a great show. We're going to be speaking about Black Panther. All things Black Panther. Black Panther 1, Black Panther 2. So I have to hit you with this one banner that I think that goes without saying. But of course, there's going to be spoilers. So of course, I have to bring in some people that obviously, because you don't want to see me talk. First up is this guy named Reggie. Reggie, say what's up.
What's up?
Yo, it looks like you got chains on your neck real quick. I was like, you put chains to the
Yeah, what's up?
Next up is Black from the waist down, Bergie. What? It's been confirmed. What?
I mean, they have black jeans. I'm just saying.
Black jeans. All right. And then, of course, our usual Katarina. Woo, what's going on, Kat? Now, we do have a surprise guest today. She's normally behind the scenes, but definitely in the comments. Our beautiful, lovely. Oh, you're still here. Okay. Mia, all right. Bring her Mia.
Yeah, there's another row.
I can't with you today already. 2 minutes and I can't.
All right. First of all, how is everybody doing today? I don't think we ever asked that on the show.
Doing good. Thank you for asking. Do you really care?
Yes, I do. Hey, Ray, what's up? Hello, fellow nerds. So first of all, what a great movie. We're here to talk about Black Panther and Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever. So I think we need to start off by first going around the table and just giving me a number on a scale of 1 to 10. What do you give Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever? First up, Bergie, go. Bergie.
He's going with the heat. He with the heat first.
I see how it is. I give it a 7.
A 7 out of 10.
Ooh, no.
Yep. 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Okay. Next up, Reggie, go.
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. Okay. All right. Mia.
9.5.
All right. We try to stick between the solid number. So we're gonna give you a 9 or a 10. Which one?
I'm giving it a 9.5.
I mean,
unfortunately, we lost Mia. I don't know what happened. There's been a lot going on. It's raining in New York. I don't understand.
Because I only have one minuscule complaint. Like one. I loved everything. There was just one little. So it's getting that 0.5, and you're not taking that from me.
Okay. So we got 7, 9, 9.5, and of course, me. No, I would not do that. Kat, what's going on?
9.
9.
Yeah.
So, okay. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I have qualms about it. I have qualms. I'm between a 9 and a 10. Damn. But him, Bergie, when I'm not gonna lie. I have
qualms. So excited.
No. I have qualms about it. But let's talk about it. Let's see if we can meet in the middle. Let's see if we can understand where we're going. First off, let's talk about Black Panther first of all. There was a lot of speculation with this movie, right? We were all waiting for it to drop, right? We were all waiting to hear and see what was going on because primarily everybody wanted to see. I almost made Bergie say, "You right." I took that away from that black up, that black man. Black. Anyway, we wanted to see how they honored Chadwick Boseman. Everybody wanted to know: are you going to give us a new Black Panther? Are you going to replace Chadwick Boseman? And technically, they did. They did in an unconventional way. First of all, let's talk about that. How do you feel that they handled Chadwick Boseman's legacy in Black Panther Wakanda Forever?
Beautifully.
Okay, Mia, right off the gate. All right, Mia. I'm gonna give you a close up real quick. Let's go. Tell me what you think.
We shouldn't be doing that for starters. Um, but no, I think that it was just, I mean, what really kicked it off for me was that just the intro into the movie. That beautiful like Marvel intro. That was just phenomenal. I don't think that was just very respectfully done. And then just everything that progressed throughout the movie, in his honor and everything. It was great. I think they did a wonderful job because it wasn't just Black Panther. It was it, it wasn't just Black Panther that was being mourned in the movie. It was Chadwick as well, and it clearly showed both, at least for me. And so I thought that it was just really beautifully done.
Okay. I'm going to use the term he transitioned. I like that when Angela Bassett said that on the red carpet view. I think that flows more appropriate. You can say whatever you want, but I just like that idea that he transitioned. Did anybody want to add on to that really quickly? All right, amazing. All right, so how do we feel about the ending, about his legacy? Who wants to speak on that real quick?
Ooh, let me get that one.
Okay.
Yes, on that one, it was so excellently done, I feel, because as we discussed, before the show, that's the best way to give us another T'Challa, and then bring in the things that we didn't get to see with Chadwick's T'Challa, such as him being married to Storm and all the other things that he does with the mutants and all that. We actually get a chance to have a shot at that now because of what we have now, and it makes sense because you want T'Challa as Black Panther. That's like the prime version of the Black Panther, aside from the first two Black Panthers, which is 1 million BC Black Panther and what is it? I forget, but it's like the Stone Age version of when they were first in Wakanda. But yeah, T'Challa is like the pinnacle of Black Panther, and you want a T'Challa to lead your Black Panthers or be your Black Panther when he leads into whatever he's going to be leading into, whether it be battle, commerce, leading the kingdom, being with Storm, all of that. You want T'Challa there.
I was going to step in real quick. He said leading Black Panthers. We don't mean the Black Panther Party. We meant Wakanda. We don't want to be associated politically just yet. Not yet. Not yet. But no, I agree with you. We love T'Challa as Black Panther, and we love Shuri, obviously, in her other role as well, depending on, where we decide to go, depending on where MCU goes, definitely. So we talked about the rating of the movie. We talked about how they handled his legacy and his transition, right? How did we feel about the movie altogether? I'm gonna go to Bergie since he was the lowest score, and I think he's worth hearing out. I think
see how it is.
I mean, I can always give it to somebody else, Bergie, if you want.
No, it's all good. You want to go to me first? Start off with the negative bashing, and then everybody after that's the next 45 minutes of praising
negative,
the movie.
Not on my show.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There were some issues. I had some continuity issues with stuff that they did with the movie and stuff like that. I agree with Mia and I agree with Reggie on the opening part of it, the showing the funeral, how they, immortalized him and the way they did the presentation and stuff, and they did the culture. Right. Absolutely beautiful, well done, absolutely incredible. I really did love it. They did a great job with it. The ending with them introducing the next legacy of it, I think that's amazing. And I think they did a great job there too as well. And I like the little kid that they got to play him. I like the story of why she wasn't there for Endgame, why she wasn't there for other stuff, because she has a child to take care of. I had issues with the way they did Riri Williams a little bit, where her origin story is not kind of what I expected, because the MIT thing and the way they made her out, like where she designed this program that could actually find the vibranium under the water. All right, not bad. They could have done a little bit better with that, I thought, personally. The way she was in a garage somewhere dealing with gangsters and stuff like that, I thought it was a little bit kind of like, I don't know, a little below her for it. She should have been MIT doing it there. I did not care for the way that they made Namor. I think that was just them trying to appease to a culture, because if you think about it, if anybody knows the Namor, what he is of South Pacific descent. He is not of Mexican descent, and that's how he was created from 1939 on. So we changed the entire character. We made it a completely different. He comes from royal blood and not just of somebody of what he was. I think they kind of changed that storyline a little bit, and I did not care for it. I didn't like that they made him as powerful as the Hulk, and he was basically OP'd on everybody. There were some issues I had with that, and the way some of their warriors were, where they were better and faster than a lot of the Wakandan warriors. I don't think that was a good thing. I did like that they did mention that he was the first mutant, because technically he was the first mutant that we've ever introduced. So they kept with that storyline a little bit, but you changed a lot of his background, his history, and his story, which I don't think is right.
Okay.
Those are some of the distakes I did not like with it. That's why I said it's a 7 out of 10 for me with some of what they did with it.
Okay. All right. Anybody else? You know what? Actually, let me go to Mia, because I know Mia. Mia was on the stream yesterday, and she had words for me. Thank you for contributing, Virgie.
I honestly, so I guess for me, for the longest time, I guess I don't know, maybe even just like last like 2-3 years or whatever. I've had this I feel like Marvel went to sleep. Like they've just been like super lazy. Like they set this bar that like they themselves weren't even hitting anymore, and they've been doing this for years. Not only like TV shows, but movies. And I feel like with this movie, they woke the fuck back up. Like I feel like this movie was actually really good. I can see Bergie's point of view now that, because he's obviously more knowledgeable. I'm newer to the, to the geekdom, I guess you can say, it as a whole, not just, little areas or whatnot.
Okay.
But I thought it was great. And then I think that it was super fun. It had that energy that like I have been waiting for like forever. And I just thought it was great. And I didn't think the writing was crap. I think the writing was great. I think everybody did a wonderful, wonderful job with their roles. I just think CGI wise, oh my God, it was absolutely beautiful. The only part that I had an issue with was when Namor, whatever his name is, Namor,
Namor, yeah.
Namor.
Namor.
When they were fighting Black Panther on that desert beach, there was a point in CGI where Black Panther was just really choppy and really cheesy, just very low budget. But I think outside of that, though, I thought it was great. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. It was energetic. I enjoyed it.
Okay. I think we should keep in mind too, like MCU. I think they're going to do a reboot. Honestly, I think they're not going to announce it like DC, who has tried and failed and tried and failed. I think they're going to do a reboot. So a lot of things are different. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean by a reboot of what?
I think we're going to get a multiverse in which this is either going to be explained as a different verse or things are going to be reset. I don't know. I'm not Kevin Feige.
No way.
Want to say shout out to Eugene. Right here. Boom. Anyway, that's our mascot. He's covering my face. It's cool, Eugene. I respect it. Real talk. I want to have Kat. Please tell me what you thought about the movie.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm struggling a little bit today. We didn't have the best movie experience the first time we went to go see it, so I had to watch it a second time to get the full gist of everything that happened. And while everything that Bergie says is 100% accurate, I do not hold the cinematic universe to the same standard as the source material. We're used to things being changed for the story to make sense. I'm not as attached to the characters of Namor or Riri that the rewrites bother me as much as they do someone who's really invested in those stories, and I respect that, which is why my score was higher than his. I knew that it was different, but I also appreciated what they were doing, giving them, having them being Incan with the name Namor. It didn't not make sense to me. I know it's not historically accurate, but we also know that back in the 30s when they were writing these comics, they weren't really being historically accurate with the characters that they were portraying either. I'm sure that the person that wrote Namor initially was not respectful of the South Pacific culture that he was referencing there, just like was the case with a lot of the characters that were made at the time. I found that the Disney and Marvel were put into, I don't want to say like an impossible situation. Obviously, the passing of Chadwick Boseman was very impactful, and being respectful of the legacy if he had while also pushing the story forward was something that I think that they handled extremely well. I thought the story was great. The actor that they got to portray young T'Challa, or T'Challa Jr., whatever you want to call him, looked so much like Chadwick. I was annoyed with myself that I didn't notice how much he looked like him the first time you see him, which is when Queen Ramonda goes to Haiti to talk to Nakia about getting Shuri. There are always going to be like minor things that could have been done better. I, for one, was not a super big fan of I know with Martin Freeman, I love Martin Freeman. This is not Martin Freeman slander. That part with him and Julia Louis-Dreyfus, I'm sorry, their names are eluding me at the moment, didn't add to the story. I understand that they needed it because they're moving their phase forward, so they're always have to kind of intertwine everything. But I don't think that we needed it. It didn't really do anything for the story. And that part of it is where it dropped from a 10 to a 9, because I think that there were things that were unnecessarily put in there when they had a strong enough story without it.
Okay.
Dora Milaje, as always, I can't get enough of seeing them. He was very adorable, little mini panther. And I like how they gave Shuri the opportunity to step into the Black Panther role and also to be the new Queen of Wakanda. And and knowing that people were going to hate on it regardless, she took it for that one instance and was like, now she's created it, she's pushed it forward, so now someone else can have the plant and become the next Black Panther. She did not take the kingdom of Wakanda. She gave that to M'Baku to do the challenge and to become it. And I think that they handled it the best way that they possibly could have, given the circumstances, and are now giving us an opportunity to have a T'Challa that has all the storylines that we were looking forward to Chadwick Boseman playing for us. And of course, my personal one is I want to see him in Storm for however long that is. I know it was short-lived in the series, but I still want to see that shit.
I think we all do. All right, I've heard everybody except obviously myself and Reggie. Reggie, definitely, I want to hear your thoughts really quickly on Wakanda 2. And if you can, tell us a little bit what you thought about Wakanda, Black Panther 1 and 2. Let me just say that. Wakanda Forever and Black Panther.
Gotcha. All right, so for me, this film was a sad culmination of things that I was looking forward to, because I was looking forward to this since I watched the first Black Panther, because I was one of those guys. I didn't go in the full African garb the first time, but I was there at the premiere. I was decked out. I'm not gonna lie. Right. I'm like, bro, Black superhero, gotta go support it. Let's go. I did wear my all white, well, almost all white to this time, to this movie, as was the tradition that they announced that we should do.
Reggie, if I could interrupt you for 1 second, can you explain to the people why you wore all white, so that way they understand in case they don't know?
Yes. So if you haven't seen the movie, or if you watch the funeral scenes, it is where they tradition for Wakanda, where they wear all white to mourn the passing of those that they have lost, and to show the purity of your relationship and your love to that person. That is why they wear white, which is my understanding. And so it was suggested that because that's what they were doing for the funeral scenes, that's how you go see this premiere. Because the first premiere, everyone got decked out in their best African garb with all their I'm going to say that
Kunte cloths.
There you go. Thank you. And that was because it was like boom. It was like, that's the thing. He's like, you're either going to best your dress African or you're best coming to America. No in between. That's how you were doing it. And for this one, they're like, hey, let's pay our respects like they're paying their respects in the film. We're gonna wear all white, because you saw that one scene of the funeral procession. You saw everybody in white, the drummers in white, everyone in the procession in white. And you're like, that's how we're going to do it for this movie. And so that's how I did it for this movie. And I never thought as a kid growing up reading these books back in the 80s and 90s that I was ever going to get to see anyone do this for me. Like it was just one of those things where it was just like when they announced it, I'm like, oh, I'm definitely going to be seeing that opening night. There's no stopping me from seeing that opening night. And the only reason we didn't see it opening night this time is because sadly, the last time we went to the movies, the wife got COVID. I'm sorry, my love. Yeah. And so she's like, I am not going to a crowded movie theater. We're going to wait till it dies down.
That's fair.
Then we'll go. So we did just see it over the weekend, and which was probably better for the show. So everything's fresher in my mind. But yeah, overall, it was a good movie. There were some parts where, they could have done a little bit better. That's why it got a 9. I don't think any film I watch is ever going to get a 10, but it came really close. But like Kat said, like there was a little bit of the extra stuff with Contessa and with I forget his agent name, but I refer to him as the Tolkien white guy because the original movie, both white guys, the only 2 white guys in the movie were from all of the Lord of the Rings movies. So they refer to it.
They called him the colonizer.
Yes, the colonizers, yes. And it was cool to learn that, his character was married to Contessa. They're no longer together.
That was amazing though. Come on.
It did blow my mind when I heard it. I was like, oh, really? You were married to her? Okay. But as someone that reads the comics, I know what Contessa can do in the comics and what she likes to do. And the way that they're like molding her and merging her with like a little bit of Ross, since how she's going to be the one to introduce us to the Thunderbolts, as we can watch her putting the team together in all the TV shows. It's okay. I understand it, but they could have like done a little bit less with that.
Okay.
But it was okay, but it could have been a little bit less, and it still would have been a great movie. And just overall, it's like, and I love the fact that M'Baku is still M'Baku, where he's like, I'm rooted in the old traditions, but I'm okay with a little bit of technology, and I understand the way that you implement it with us. And you can tell that with that knowledge is how he's going to rule. He's not going to be stuck in the past, but he's going to bring the past and the future and the past and the present together to make a really great future for the nation of Wakanda. And I love the way that they set up his character to where he's not just, I'm strong, I'm just going to beat every, because in the comics, his character is literally, I'm strong, I'm going to beat everybody up, follow me or get beat up. That's not the way to do it in this. And I love the fact that he's like, we can try things and mix things together. Like his line to her, where he says, with the grief you have suffered, you are no longer a child. Like, bruh. He's like, the world has tested you. You are no longer a child. What are you going to do? And she's like, I'm going to do my best not to burn everything, but it's really hard. And he's like, you do you. I got your back. And I'm like, bruh. But yeah, overall, like, the way that both films were going, it was just something that they were setting. It's not even setting something up to be amazing. It was amazing, setting up more amazing stuff. And the fact that they did have to alter it doesn't take away from how amazing it was for me to go watch these films, because they're still amazing. And I'm more likely going to go watch this movie again in theaters. And then when they give me the combo DVD Blu-ray of both movies, I'm going to go buy it.
No hood release for you?
No, I don't want that dude accidentally standing up in the middle of the theater yelling at the screen.
All right. So I'll leave you on the screen real quickly. There are 2 things I want to address. Our viewers may have noticed that we've lost a member of our team. Kat is no longer with us in the show. She's still alive. Don't get me wrong. However, she's going through something personal, so she will not be for the rest of the stream. I only bring this up, obviously, because I would like, if you know Kat, to definitely send her your condolences, for she's going through something really, really testing right now, and she's like family here. So I obviously have to do it, but we'd like for you to show her love, because this has been a trying, I would say, 2 weeks for a lot of the family here, for the people and experiences that people have been going through, and she knows that we love her. We know we're gonna reach out to her, but it'd be nice sometimes to hear from other people. And Kat, she just gave a great description. I was waiting for her to go and tell us some more and maybe upset Virgie a little bit.
Good luck trying.
But unfortunately, he has something to deal with. So if we can get a quick moment of silence just for Kat. Thank you very much. Kat, you are in our hearts. We're here for you for what you're going through. And, be sure to reach out, and we understand. That's it. I want to give, I guess, my opinion now because I've been hearing everybody. Listen, the Black Panther film was so iconic. The first one, okay? We had Ryan Coogler. We were like, who is this guy? Chadwick Boseman. I heard of him. Letitia Wright, But one of the things I think we that started giving us hope was like this all-star cast, Angela Bassett, like all these people. And if you are a person of color, to hear that everybody in that studio was Black, with the exception of Klaus and token white guys or whatever. And obviously maybe there was a couple more, but majority was Black. Was amazing. There was a famous, I think, TikTok video that came out where everybody was running in a certain way to express their joy for it. And that was like big, like, wow, like I can't wait to see this. I was one of the people that definitely got dressed up in my African garb, and I saw it, and it was amazing. It was amazing. It was impactful. It had a great story. The women in the movie weren't just background characters. They were just as strong and will beat you the hell up as well. And just as smart, And in fact, T'Challa was the one who seemed inexperienced in a sense compared to a lot of people there. We can go into that another time. What I loved about Black Panther 2 and Black Panther 1 is they decided to show what it takes to be a ruler, especially a ruler who comes into their power through vengeance. Remember, in Civil War, we met Black Panther. There was a crazy hype, like, yeah, we got Black Panther, because his father was killed. T'Chaka was killed, and he went out for revenge with Bucky, right? He was on a trip to kill Bucky for revenge.
They ran 40 miles an hour through that tunnel. They 40 miles an hour each.
I feel like him and Cap ran faster in Endgame, but whatever. Not Endgame, the one before that. So that said, now here it is. Shuri takes the mantle, and she's going through the same thing. That same hurt, maybe a little bit more, arguably, because she lost her mother and her brother. And only one, technically, she felt both of them were killed because let me come back to that. They feel both of them were assassinated. Let me say that in such a way, right? So she's got vengeance, not necessarily toward Namor, but she has vengeance on her mind because of Namor, because inevitably he is the target in front of her. If you've ever been mad at something and somebody made you upset, you got mad at them, but you're really mad at something else that has sometimes nothing to do with them. And that was the thing. She had to overcome the vengeance, kind of like T'Challa did, Chadwick Boseman's character, in her own way. I love both movies. When I first saw it, I still loved it. I picked at it. And then when we were talking about going over this movie, I picked at it some more. I thought about it. I picked at it. I did, I looked at some things. I was like, okay, here is my biggest complaint. My biggest complaint is how they handle Riri Williams. Okay. The reason why I say that is because she's a fairly new character to the Marvel universe, right? She's technically top 5 smartest people in the Marvel universe. I keep saying cinematic. It's Reed Richards, Dr. Doom, as you know him. You've got his show. Yes, I'm in a show. I was about to forget him, right? Asian man who's gay. We also have, it is very important that I say that because he was a Hulk and they had problems with that. But look how they're spreading the minority. Like, look how they're being inclusive, You also have Valeria Richards, right? Who's very smart as well. You have, I'm going to mess up her name. Is it Luna Moon Girl, I believe it is.
Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur.
There you go. I always say Moon. Right, Moon Girl Devil. She's technically the smartest. I feel like they dialed her down because they can't write stories for her. But it makes sense. She's like 8.
You can't make a kids' cartoon show about the smartest person
right.
in the world.
She's like 8.
Because they're gonna solve all the issues. Like, oh, that's easy. Cool,
Right.
let's go.
But then that goes into the future foundation about Reed Richards wanting children to solve issues because they think outside the box. And then you have Riri Williams. And arguably, they're all interchanged. They're not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're just, you know what I'm saying? And the crazy thing is, I'm going to take this from somebody because I was on another show, and she was like, they made her feel more jokey as a woman. You know what I'm saying? More of a comic relief than showing off her natural talents. And don't get me wrong, Burgie, you said you didn't like the fact that she was in a warehouse full of thugs. She grew up in the hood in the comics. She grew up in the hood. You know what I'm saying?
She grew up in Chicago, and then she came to, Boston and MIT
in the
at
hood.
15.
They killed her. Was it in her front lawn?
Her dad was killed. Her dad and someone else was killed in that drive-by. Yes,
but okay. Maybe, obviously Marvel is all about inclusive of the little kids, and they don't want to necessarily shine on that. The only thing I think they could have done was built her character more and really incorporate and show us how smart she was. Don't get me wrong. We know she's smart. She made her own Iron Man suit. You know what I'm saying? Which was amazing. Spoilers if you didn't watch the movie. We said that before. We had it shown. But like, it didn't really focus on that. It's more or less, we knew Shuri was smart, but we didn't know how smart they were in contrast to each other. If anything, it seemed like Shuri was smarter, but we didn't really get that clarification. Aside from that, I thought this movie was great. It did very well. Everybody hit it. It gave Chadwick Boseman's legacy an amazing picture. I don't think, if I'm going to be honest with you, and I've only been alive for 36 years, I don't think I've ever seen a movie paid homage to any actor or actress like that. And granted, I'm sure there are movies that have done iconic homages to actors and actresses that have helped the series, whatever, but not like that. Not like, you know what I'm saying? We got the beginning of the film. We got to walk through the funeral with the family. We got to feel like we were there. And then obviously towards the end, we understood the legacy. We understood why people weren't there. Big shout out to Haiti, 1804. If you saw it, whoop, whoop, whoop. It was an amazing time to be a person of color. Really, it was. Because even if you weren't black, I'll say black. Even if you weren't black, if you weren't from the South Pacific, if you weren't Native American necessarily, you get to feel like you had a chance to be included soon. Because you're seeing it. You're seeing it being done. I will say this. I don't care for Namor's origin because they change it. Honestly, they change it. Like, we still got a celestial hand in the middle of the ocean somewhere and nobody's talking about it, as my boy would say.
What? No, there was no mention of it in She-Hulk.
It
was like a little
right. It was
off on the side,
right? And then we're still waiting to. I hope they bring back Blade.
Not only just a hand, but also a head.
A head.
That's right.
That's almost touching the moon, for crying out loud. We're not talking about that.
Right,
no.
The hand, at least, people are shipping just like, well, just another day in this world.
Iceberg right ahead.
But I love the fact that they did it. I love the fact they did it because it immediately reminded me of a movie called The Road to El Dorado, right? And I love that movie. Great movie. In fact, on the channel, I posted Chell, who was from the movie. Chell had us all in the chokehold. If you know who Chell is, you forgot it was a children's movie real quick. Anywho, they paid homage, and like that game, I don't remember the game, where the ring is on the wall and you have to put the ball through the wall. I don't know, the hoop. I'm gonna call zone hoop, whatever. It was in the road. Yeah, I don't know what it's called, and I should probably look it up. It was in The Road to El Dorado, and it was in obviously Black Panther 2 in Atlantis, in a sense. Oh, they didn't call it Atlantis, excuse me, but in Namor's society. Yes. So, and it's just like, they really did their diligence and did their history. So yeah, they could have like maybe developed Ross's and his wife's, kind of like, well, what happened here with the Countess? What's going on towards the end? They could have did that. I personally feel, and we can have an open conversation now because I think everybody's got their thing. They said what they wanted. I personally feel they should have waited a year. I feel like this script, great script, it just wasn't for Shuri. It just wasn't for Letitia Wright's character. I think it was originally for obviously Chadwick's character, T'Challa, and it was and it must have been something else to kind of tie it all together. This felt like we can do this, but let's kind of glaze over here. And as far as like Shuri's rule, it feels natural only because she's more concerned about killing him and dealing with this problem versus actually being a better ruler. And I guess we can open up now. We can start talking openly. the fact that she didn't believe in Bass was amazing.
Right? That's like a big part of her character because she's always about the technology in the future. She was not into the mysticism side of it. And yeah, this was the one thing that brought her into that mysticism. Like, bruh, if you heal my brother, I will believe in you. I will follow you. I will do all the good things.
First scene.
First words out of her mouth.
Yes.
Like, bruh, I don't believe in you, but if you can do this, I will believe in you hard.
Do you understand how crazy it is to be Shuri right now at that time and not believe in Bass? That's like, you know, if you live in a house of color per se, you don't believe in seasoning. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? You know, or any tradition what the family believes in, you know, and you're just like, nah, I'm good. You know, non-toxic, of course. I want to know your guys' thoughts on Bass herself, because Bass is a goddess, right? And generally a White Panther goddess, generally, or black, whatever. And one of the crazy things is I thought that who we got to see later on was Bass, but apparently it wasn't. What do you guys think about Bass, the goddess, so far? We haven't seen it.
Who do you think was Bass?
Killmonger. So hear me out. So when you go into and it's funny too because we see Angela Bassett's Queen Ramonda's character wearing white, right? And I'm thinking it's an homage to Bass, right? We saw that pretty much throughout the whole films, you know, it's pretty consistent if I'm not mistaken. And then guess who shows up wearing white? Killmonger. And I'm like, oh, it's Bass coming to her in a vision of Killmonger, because right now she's all about like, I'm about to make the world right. You about to go nick.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Very good.
I think Bass showed up in the form of what she needed in a way. Because, you know, if you think about it, if you're a spiritual person, if you believe in God, you believe in, you know, any type of higher religion, a higher power, when you're at your lowest point, that's what shows up to you. And that helps you get over your, you know, your obstacle, your whatever's holding you back. And for her, it was, she was thinking about murking some dude because he basically wiped out another part of her family off the board. I mean, this girl went through lost her father, lost her brother due to natural causes, but she does blame, you know, whatever. And then she just lost her mother. Her kingdom is in ruin. She doesn't know how she's going to be able to support this. They want to take another person away to kill because he's worried about his culture being destroyed while he's destroying her culture and her family. You know, so I think, and I love the fact that we saw Killmonger. Like, I was excited for that because Michael B. Jordan is a phenomenal actor. I wish they did not kill off Killmonger's character because I feel that there's so many more stories they could have, you know, done with him. So I'm a little upset about that. But I think that she needed him to basically be like, look, you're in a bad point. Do you want to go the route that I did? And I think he kind of like nudged her towards it, but she kind of was like, you know what?
She was already on that way. She just needed that little bit of, hey, this is the way to go.
Yeah, and I think she looked at it and goes, you know what? Yeah, I could burn the world and sit back and watch it burn, but that's not the way it was. And she came out thinking she was going to murder him. And then when the scene with her brother, she thought about him and things that he did, and she looked at stuff and she wanted to make the world a better place. I think that's what the God was there for. It was to put her on a path that she didn't know she really wanted. And it's all about free will. She had the free will. She could have murked him and been done with it.
I feel personally, and there's a theory going on that that's actually not Bass, allegedly, right? So because Shuri and Eric Killmonger did not necessarily believe in Bass or pay homage to Bass as they should have, it's kind of like the middle ground, the not necessarily the spiritual world. Not the spiritual world where you go to see your ancestors. Because mind you, she didn't see the kings of the past either.
Nope.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? T'Challa did, but she didn't.
Technically, she did see a king of the past because Killmonger was a king.
So she goes, technically, she did see a king of the past. It was Killmonger. But Killmonger was not a believer. And to be fair, she didn't get that purpley glaze that people get when they go to the spiritual world. So
it was outside of the kingdom because she looked out the window. The purple glaze was outside,
right? Whereas T'Challa, when he went in, all purple, no matter what. You know what I'm saying?
Plus, also, he was more of a warlord than he was a king.
Tomato. I feel like he was a king. I feel like he was a king because he wasn't really. Who you saying, T'Challa or not T'Chaka? Which one?
Killmonger.
Killmonger. Oh yeah, Killmonger. Okay,
Killmonger. He was a warlord, more like he wanted to be, the evil king in a way, an evil warlord. He wasn't trying to be a king to be righteous.
He was trying to be a dictator.
Yes, really. Yeah, that's a better term. Yes.
So no, I agree with you. I believe those two because of their lack of belief in Bass, and you can argue that she didn't create a natural purple heart.
Mm-mm.
It was synthetic, technically, right? Technically. So Bass was like, you don't believe me, and you didn't make the right. You can get purgatory. You can get the middle ground. You know what I'm saying? You
don't get the full experience.
But she still got the power because Bass is definitely invested in. Hey, baby, and I'm sorry, my kids just ran. In Wakanda. I think Namor's war shows how pointless a lot of wars are.
Right.
You know, how pointless and how hurtful a lot of wars are. I feel like when I'm in message, I think what's gonna come is gonna be devastating. I know it seemed like it ended on a okay, not so bad.
No, it did not. No, sir. Did you not see Namor's final scene? He straight up told you.
Oh no, yeah, that's
gonna
bad.
Look at Wakanda when they go looking for vibranium, and they're gonna find it, and we're gonna fuck them up. They're gonna blame them for it. They're gonna take all the blame, and then when they're all alone and isolated, who are they gonna call? Me.
Ghostbusters.
I hate you both. Goodbye. I was about to kick you out the street.
And he explained it, and it was such a genius plan because his right hand, she was like, bro, I've been trying to fight with you my whole life. He's like, wait, we're not.
Yeah, she thought he was totally surrendering, and he wasn't.
He's like, we're not.
He's playing the long game.
Oh yeah. Exactly. Oh yeah.
Long game because they're gonna come to us, and we're gonna help them. And then everybody's gonna be like, how are they getting this help? What's going on? We don't see what's going on, but Wakanda's fucking shit up. But it's really gonna be us. But everybody's gonna be looking at them. It's what is that? From freaking Lucky Number 11. The thing where like the St. Louis Shuffle, where they make you look right when you should have been looking left, but you need a dead body. Wakanda is gonna end up being the dead body for Namor, is what they're saying.
All right, so let's. I see you got some things queued up. You ready to go over it quickly? Because I want to definitely talk about what we think is going to happen next.
I mean, I do have some thoughts about what's going to happen next.
Oh, you want to go over that first? You don't want to show us what you got in the background?
Oh, that's just nice little pictures that just just entice us all to let us remember what's going on and what we're talking about.
Let's go over that. I think that would be nice.
Okay. It's in no particular order, but we can do this. I just grabbed some pictures that were some powerful, strong moments of both movies and slapped them in here.
Speaking of strong moments, Queen Rwanda's
that speech.
Yes.
That speech. And see, they always made you think that she was talking to like the UN or something. Dude.
Okay.
She was yelling at her general. I'm like, bruh. And then after a while, I realized she's not wrong. That woman did betray her 3 separate times in the name of Wakanda.
You know what the crazy thing is? There's a lot of infighting, family infighting, right? You know what? I thought the same thing. I thought she was yelling at the U.S., the nations, whatever. But it makes sense that she did it because that will show some form of weakness. And if you remember her scene when she came upon the council and like, y'all think y'all slick. Y'all out here trying to.
We didn't kill him. We could have. Here you go. Merci beaucoup.
Queen Ramonda is a bad ass. I really like to curse on this show, but she is badass. She came to the council, was like, y'all have been trying to steal vibranium, and we told you not to do it. We told you not to do it. And we've given you some things to show that we embrace the world. Here are the people that you hired and tried to be slick. And I think it was France, and I forgot the other country. And she looked at them. I got one more time.
In the US.
This is your last.
The US hadn't tried it yet. They were letting everyone else go first.
Right.
France was the latest one, and they're like, Here's your dudes back.
Yep.
Thanks.
Well,
Yeah, I like
USA.
that she basically told him, she was like, you sit here and you say one thing
Yes.
to the world, but then you do this, and then march, all those mercenaries in. And she was like, look, no more. Like, I'm done. Like, you come at me and it's war. Like, she said aggression, but she was like, you take from me one more time. One of you comes at me one more time. It's going to take one of you. And she was like, it's aggression. She was like, we'll go to war. Like, I love that she was just like, enough is enough. This is why we stayed the way we've been forever. Like, you keep proving why we have to isolate ourselves from the rest of the world, because you guys are pieces of shit. And I was just like, you know what? I love this. I was like, you tell them, you know what I'm saying? Because it's facts. It's like, it's just the way that the world in general works. You know what I'm saying? If something can give you a one up or give you power or make you rich, you know what I'm saying? And people will just go to just ridiculous lengths. They don't care who it hurts.
Yep.
They don't care who it problematic at all. It's just like, give me. I want more, more, more. They don't give a whether it harms the planet, whether it harms their country, whether it harms their family. It's just like, she was finally like, I'm done. One more of you. All it takes is one, and it's over.
And I believe Okoye.
I loved it. It was very powerful to me. And coming from a woman too, like, I was like, this is phenomenal, because usually in movies, like, you'll hear a speech like that coming from a man, but she was here, woman, and a Black woman, basically telling the world, like, I've had enough of your shit. I've been patient long enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, come at me one more time. Like, it was beautiful to me. I loved it.
Angela Bassett is an amazing actress.
Yeah.
An amazing actress. I think for as long as I've been alive, and that's not me trying to like bring up her age. I'm just saying, for as long as I've known her to be in whatever movie she wanted to be, she was amazing. She's always been. I think we got plenty of gifs of her just alone. And you're amazing when you make the modern gif era. I'm just saying that. Forget the awards and everything else she's done, right? But now that you say that, Mia, like the fact that a Black woman, you know how many Black women resonated with her at that point? Granted, it was in sadness, but it's like, I'm tired of your shit world. You know what I'm saying? You know, and then of course we got Okoye, who's like, sit, and then he just sit, but kneel, and then she talks, I think in French to the leader of France, and
the ambassador.
You're welcome. Yeah, and he's like, you're welcome. Like, damn.
The fact that she told him to kneel in Wakandan, and they did it,
and they
Yes. I mean, it's like Kat talks about, like, women constantly being done wrong within the universe, whether it's DC, Marvel. And I felt like with this movie, like, women really were just given that powerful, like, stance. They were given their moments. And I don't feel like I don't feel like it was taken away from. It was just like, oh, we're going to have a moment, but then, we're going to do something like this to kind of make it, no. Like, it wasn't just like, it was just the warriors, and it was, it was the queen, and it was everything about it was that these women, I felt like for the first time in a long time, the women had their moment. No matter how big the part was in this movie or how small, like, the women had their moment in this movie, and I loved it.
And I think that goes back to the director of Coogler. Like, you can tell this man knows, the history of Black women in the society and in the world and stuff like that. He made them very strong women, very ones that you didn't want to F with. You knew, I mean, I can't say it because obviously I'm not a Black person, but Mayhem and Reggie, you grew up in a Black family. You didn't piss off mom. Mom would whoop your ass. You knew it. Like, I grew up in an Italian Portuguese household. My mom, different style, but very similar style. But there's different cultures and stuff like that. And you could see that from the Wakandan version, the way she directed that audience. They were all eyes on her. Yep. They knew they effed up. The France was trying to get something because they wanted to make a weapon so they could do something. USA is next. That's why you're getting what we had. She addressed the two biggest nations there that she thought was the biggest threats, France and USA, and she put everybody else on notice. And I think Coogler did an amazing job with the women characters, developing their stories, creating a great background for all of them. the way the warriors were, everything he did, I think he did a phenomenal job with the women. The character development was fantastic.
Arguably,
well, good or bad. Like I forget her name, so right now I'm just going to address her as like Miss Skunk Stripe. You know what I'm saying? But like,
Princessa.
listen, I forgot her name, but she like even her, like she straight out just said, I want my hands on this.
Mm-hmm.
Like this, and I want it for this reason. Like I want this. So it was just like it didn't matter which type of the role it was. It was like these women were demanding power.
Yeah,
right.
I think Ryan Coogler for the last 2 movies has done a great job in showing how powerful women are, even behind scenes. Because you look at the first Black Panther, sure, it's T'Challa versus Killmonger. I'm just gonna add, Michael B. Jordan is an amazing Killmonger. Just amazing. To the point where I think if they gave him more lines and more scenes in Black Panther, he would have Heath Ledger and took over the movie. Just saying. But at the same time, who counseled Chadwick's character, T'Challa? You had his mom, right? You had Shuri at one point. That's who he was cool with. We got some of the great scenes. The Dora Milaje, his girlfriend, you know what I'm saying? His on and off girlfriend, and now the mother of his child. All these women were very pivotal. And then, don't get me wrong, he still spoke to his father, too, and came to, afterwards. But, like, these women were consistently there helping him rule. Dora Milaje, even after the movie, we got them in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Bruh, that scene. Oh, did you think we wouldn't give you an access code? What? No. So,
we saw them in Endgame, war, and that's great. But then in The Falcon, was like, yo, don't mess with us.
Mm-hmm.
Don't mess. Even Bucky was shooketh.
They dropped his arm off like,
dude, that was the best part when they showed up and he sat and Bucky was like, nah, I'm sitting back. He knew the ass whooping that was about to happen to Falcon. He knew it.
Bucky,
he let him go.
What Bucky's arm now is made of vibranium, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes.
Now, before it wasn't, but is now made of vibranium.
Might be a Christmas present for somebody if anybody wants.
I know, right?
Is a Rocket Raccoon? You see that?
Dude.
Yes. That was amazing. So Bucky's a trained assassin, arguably just as good, if not better than Captain America and Black Widow, to the point where Black Widow in the MCU was scared of him. Remember in the Winter Soldier, there's a ghost that we speak of, right? And he could not. He knows his place around these women. So the Dora Milaje ain't nothing to scoff at. I see you have M'Baku pulled up. Pull him up, please, one time. I just want to say something real quick about this gentleman.
I love this character.
Everybody loves this character.
Yeah.
Like you said, he's not just destroyer. I can beat everything up, but he's logical. He's a great leader.
He was going to make a great leader.
I think not we all, but a lot of us wanted to see him put on the suit, even if it's for a little bit, just to be Black Panther for a little bit. I think we all wanted to see
his character. But his character never was Black Panther. He was the what is not the white gorilla, the something gorilla.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what it's called, but that's what his character became, and they were adversaries-ish. They're like frenemies. There we go, frenemies.
The one great thing is Winston Duke is an amazing
100%.
actor.
100%.
I fell in love with this dude in a TV show called Person of Interest, and he played.
Wait! He was in Person of Interest.
He was Person of Interest. He was one of the bad guys in one of the seasons of Person of Interest. His character's name was Dominic. I'm a huge fan of Winston Duke.
He bumped up from that role.
Yes, he did. But in that one, he played like a street level kind of like gang leader, but he was the most intelligent one in the room.
Right.
And the way the character was and the way he was, I was like, dude, this guy is an amazing character, absolutely great, actor. And then you see him in this, and I like his sense of humor, the way he comes off in the scenes and everything. It's just an amazing thing. And I love where he was given counsel to Shuri because he told her brother he wouldn't let her fail. And he said he'd be there for her. And he showed up in this movie and did that. And it was absolutely powerful that his enemy became his friend. And now he's looking out for his friend's family. Like that's powerful and very moving that he did that. And this is amazing.
It makes me want to eat raw carrots.
I do like that. I feed it to my children.
I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna be the negative Nancy. I'm gonna be the negative Nancy and say it's in his benefit to keep her in a sense clear, because otherwise, if that nation fails, his nation fails next. Let's move on. I want to go through the pictures really quickly because I think they're worth talking. Ah, man, this scene. Without spoiling too much of it, I think when we see her put on the garbs and kind of like go through it, like I don't know what we were expecting, but like when she puts that on, I know some stuff is about to go down. I just want to say that. I think that's when she infiltrates. That's when she goes and she finds Shuri, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah.
The technology she used and how she got there just shows how. I mean, they didn't show what she did, but the fact that she was able to find this kingdom, amazing. Even though she had a little help. I mean, whew, she puts on those garbs. I'm scared for my life. I'm just saying.
She's just so smart, so strong, so beautiful. I was just like, Jesus Christ. I feel like she's like the perfect like character.
Nakia knows what she's
I
doing.
mean, she got stuff done that even the general couldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, she was just like, she's just a badass. You know what I'm saying? Like, she is badass.
And the fact that she was trying to walk away from it and why made so much sense when we got the reveal at the end.
Right?
Can we? All right, let's go to the next one. Oh, so I don't know if that's white. It looks white. It looks gray.
Silverish.
It's
silverish. I'm telling you, man, Bass is white, and then she's just doing it in her own way. Nonetheless, Angela Bassett on a throne. Oh my goodness. It's just that's just a beautiful sight. That is just a beautiful sight. And poised, powerful. I can't wait to
elegant.
There you go. Go ahead. I ain't got the words. No, but seriously, that she owns the scene every time she's in that room, particularly. Right. In that room, anyway, I'll let you guys talk because I'm over here. Whew.
No, you're good. No, like this
was it swoon.
Bruh, she just exudes confidence and power, right? Look at that pose. She's like, I know I'm about to yell at this bitch, but let me compose myself first.
Can I tell you something that I noticed? And I'm glad it shows here. Like I don't know if she's jacked, but she's in shape. Look at her arms.
She's totally jacked. She's totally jacked. So she's been jacked for years.
So even as a queen, right? It could be there, you know what I'm saying? But like she's like, I can fight too.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. All right, let's go to the next one. Ooh, Angela Bassett, I hope you see this. You knocked it out the park.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So just the art was just amazing. The homage to Chadwick Boseman. I think they captured it. I really need to translate what it says in Wakandan. I think they really.
I got it. Hold up.
Oh, you got it. Dope.
I don't got it, but I know where to get it.
Okay, cool.
Because I watch all the behind the scenes and theory and what you miss shows. So
okay,
they've all translated it.
Oh,
so I'm there.
I think they did a great job of showing Namor's roots. Is it Aztecian, if I'm not mistaken? Is Aztec or Incan?
I believe it's kind of like it almost felt like a combination Aztec Incan.
Yeah, for Namor. Mayan, excuse me.
More so Mesoamerican.
Mayan, excuse me. Okay.
Yeah, Mesoamerican. I know that Berchi had talked about how this wasn't like it's the original like origins or whatever, but for me or whatnot, like for me, I think that like I was just appreciative of the fact that like Mesoamerican was finally giving it a moment.
Yes.
Because it's not something that usually that gets discussed, or even brought up in movies ever. You know what I'm saying? Nothing about their culture, nothing, no characters. So even though it's not like the original, or I can at least appreciate that Mesoamerican culture had a moment. I guess for me, for somebody who, I don't know the original, like, backstory of Namor in the comics or anything like that. So for coming from a new person into this, to me, I was like, this is great. I enjoyed it because, and I'm Mesoamerican, right. Partial Mesoamerican. I'm a quarter. So for me, this was really incredible. And so, I think it was just all of it was just really beautiful. I think
I loved how they both paid homage to his roots, like his his getup, his gear, like all that gold. You know what I'm saying? Because they were rich in it, and
Yeah.
it's paying homage to his tradition, his culture, and obviously, I think he was a great actor. The Imperious Rex line at the end, I guess, but but I still enjoyed it nonetheless. And then of course his people that he's fighting for, who are blue skin, and they explain that in the movie. I'll let you guys watch it. We don't give you too much. I think they did a great job representing too, and showing how capable they are, even though they're technically supposedly waterbound.
And you know what I loved about his character, even though he was technically like on almost like a god level with power and everything like that, like how human he was portrayed as, with his emotions and his thought processes. I was just like, for there was a lot of motion behind it, like a human versus like just cold and just like emotionless, like a god. You know what I'm saying? I love the fact that he was on this status of being a god, but yet he's just a person.
The Panther King forever lives in us and rest. Amazing. Yeah, man. I really, you know what I wanted to see more? I wanted to see his full city, like his full country, Talocan. And it's, I know they couldn't give us everything, but I enjoyed going in that underwater scene and like, whoa, this is a lot to take in. It's kind of like one of those things. Like, I'm gonna have to see this movie twice because I'm sure I missed some stuff in these weeds and whatnot. Let's move forward. I love that saying, the Panther God rests in us and sleeps.
Wow, this scene was so powerful.
So for those that don't know, we lose the queen, but we gain the queen here. And I love how she told her, "What are you doing here? Run! What are you doing? Run!"
She's like, "Get behind me, child, and run!"
Right. What comes next is crazy because I didn't see it coming. I did not see this coming. I thought she was gonna fight, and once again, her arms, she bowed it. She squared up, and I thought she was gonna fight Namor, and I was like, I don't understand how this is gonna go because he's gonna have to take her prisoner or something. Oh man, beautiful scene. Did anybody want to add on before we move forward? Because we are running over time.
Just keep in fact that this woman is 64 years old.
Where?
I know, right?
Right?
Where?
64. That's how old she is.
That is
absolutely incredible.
You will fix your mouth and say that is a 29-and-a-half-year-old woman. Okay?
As my mom would say, I'm 28. That's 28. Now, there's some women in their 30s that wish they could look that good.
Amen. I mean, I wish I looked that good. Shit.
Right? I want to know her trainer.
Right? Let's go forward.
The king.
Respectfully. Amazing.
And he was just an amazing, person, amazing actor. And he brought this role such prominence. And it was an amazing, amazing guy.
Riri, I like the
built this armor in a lab with scraps.
You know what I really, really liked about her character? She acted fucking 19.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I just loved it. She acted 19. She might have been intelligent. She might have been a genius and a prodigy, but man, she was 19 and she did a great job. I mean, she did a great job.
Now, it's possible that maybe the feedback for all of us is like, she could have been better. It's because maybe she wasn't made for us. Maybe she was made for the modern day kids who may have gotten her, the generation behind us. It's possible. I'm just offering that as a piece.
I feel like she should respect appliances better as an older person. Those heaters are expensive. But yeah, she acted 19. It was great.
Okay.
Well, let's see what we get from her with her Ironheart series on Disney Plus in part of Armor Wars that she's going to be part of.
Yes.
So there's going to be a lot more of her character that they're going to flesh out, her suit, her armor. Like, there's so much more I can see with her. And supposedly the Hood will make a character appearance too, which I'm intrigued with.
Yep. Really?
You know what? Let's bring this back. Let's talk about the future of Black Panther, Wakanda 2, because we are running out of time. I just looked up and we are 4 minutes over what we normally get paid for. We get paid? You're right. So anyway, so really quickly, Virgie, what do you think is going to happen next when it comes to Wakanda?
Man. I mean, It depends on how far of a distance we are into the future. Will we see maybe, T'Challa Jr. be back in Wakanda? Or will he still be outside of Wakanda? That's where I want to see where it's going to go. Because if he gets back on, into Wakanda, I think he will probably take the mantle. But then he has to challenge M'Baku, and who knows how well M'Baku has done with that and where they're going to go with that. I think we might see. I would not be surprised if this is part of Thunderbolts, because they want to try to get the, vibranium. So I kind of feel like we're not seeing the last of this. We're going to be part of it, and I think it's going to be part of one of the movies, and where we might have to bring in Namor here and try to save them from something from, somebody outside.
Okay. Mia.
Ooh, or they could be assembling the Thunderbolts to make a siege on Wakanda to find more vibranium.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Mia, what do you think is coming for Wakanda too? Well,
so I'm kind of up there with Virgie when it comes to the sun. What I would like to see, I think, is like if you watched every single one of them, you watched this battle of within themselves, which ended up like bringing them to like how great they ended up being, right? And so I think with him, what I would like to see is, his growth just as a person in general, but then like, the I guess the back and forth between, being just a normal person and being, the heir to the throne, you know what I'm saying? Like, so he's got this great life in Haitian, and then now we're worried about the throne, and he had mentioned his secret is that this is who he is, you know what I'm saying? So I want to see where he's a bit older, and I think he's going to be a bit older, and I want to see where he comes into the throne in that process.
I like the fact that we get a lot of pictures from behind because they had to remove his bulge.
I heard that. I'm like, bruh.
They had to remove his bulge. My man was out here like, I'm gonna show you my culture's finest in more than one way.
Dance belt.
In more than one way.
Wearing that Victoria's Secret.
Victoria's Rex. All right, Reggie, let us know what you think is in store for Wakanda.
What's in store for Wakanda? Is M'Baku's going to be a great leader. He's going to be just like Ramonda, where he's not going to take that crap from anybody at the UN, and he's going to lead them to this new era of past meets present / future, and it's going to become more like it is in the comics, and it's just going to be this great technologically advanced country that has its roots and its origination, and it's going to be dope. And hopefully they raise Prince T'Challa outside of Wakanda so he can see how the world really is before going back to Wakanda. I'm like, look, he'll be that perfect cross between Killmonger and his dad, to where he saw what the world is like outside of Wakanda and how they act. Then he learned how Wakanda acts, and he's going to bring that together. And like, look, my grandma said y'all be acting up. My uncle says y'all be acting up. We're going to try to help y'all out. But if y'all act out of line and step out of line, come out of pocket, anything, you're done.
I just hope they don't make it. I hope they don't make this like Coming to America Part 2.
You're done.
Yeah, they won't. But okay, that sounds dope. I think M'Baku talking to the ambassadors would be amazing. It would be amazing. I can't wait.
You speak to me as though you don't know who I am.
By the way, I honestly think that this outfit that she wore was my favorite outfit. Like, I think this outfit is just stunning.
Yeah. See, it looks white and then also pink. I don't know. I feel like Bass is here, but also back to M'Baku. I'm just telling you.
It's blue and gold.
That's blue and gold.
Stop.
No, I'm.
Oh no, not that. You know, what, ladies and gentlemen, I missed it. You got me on that one, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna wrap up real quick. I just want to say, whatever is in store for Wakanda, I believe before we get to the good, there's gonna be presently some bad. I think we're gonna experience some more loss. And then I think, maybe Doom will come through. Maybe there'll be a big war or whatever. But I think Ryan Coogler and his team will definitely move forward and immortalize not only the actors and actresses and the characters they portray, but their ideals as it pertains to us. It's very relatable. And Lord knows we need to change a lot of stuff. Big shout out to Haiti once again, my country. 1804, one of the first West Indian islands to gain independence. Big shout out to people who went to go see this movie. Big shout out to the cast. I can't wait. You know what? I really can't wait to see what happens with Okoye's character. Really, the growth there. What we have to wrap it up. It's been amazing. This has been the 4-letter nerd. I almost didn't know how to end this. This has been the 4-letter nerd Iowa Geekix Unlimited production. Thank you very much for joining us tonight and talking about Black Panther 2 and Black Panther. We had so much to say. I think we need a 2-hour special for this.
Yeah.
Big shout out. Thank you, Kat, for coming through. We'll check on you in a bit. Mia, thanks for coming by. You're jelly
Thank you
behind
for
the
having
camera
me today, you guys. I appreciate it.
And thank you to everybody that came through. And as I get ready, I just want you guys to let you know that this is the last time that I'll be hosting for a while.
Next month it's Bergie.
You get to deal with me.
I don't know about that.
We have officially agreed. It's done.
I didn't
You know
want
what I
to,
think,
but I was
Virgie?
forced into it.
You haven't done it yet, so
I
it's
know.
your turn.
I know.
They gave me the button. They regret it.